Yeah, I would say, the one thing I wanted to bring up was I thought our students were phenomenal. It was maybe the best since I've been back. I mean, they were rowdy. Uh, I know we didn't get the result we wanted, but man, I want to thank them for coming out because it felt different on the sideline, which was great to have them there and supporting our guys, and I appreciate that. So thank you for being there. And so obviously it wasn't hard to figure out kind of what happened. I thought offensively we played good, not great. 30 points. Turned the ball over a couple times, just got to get fixed. Defensively, 28 points. Not great, good. And then we gave up 14 points on special teams. And that's a difference in the game. And when that happens, one of the sides of the ball has to play great. And neither side did. So obviously it was a tough loss. You lose to your rival. You gotta pick the pieces back up and get back to work. And our guys have done a good job of having a good week of practice and getting ready for the next task at hand.
Obviously, Akron fired head coach Tom Arth after their loss last week, and what seems like a lot of mid-season firings this year. Do you have any thoughts on those firings or Tom Arth specifically?
No, I mean I've met Tom a couple times. That's it. I knew that he had, from what he had said, it was a tough job. It was going to take some time, and they were battling. I thought they played probably their best game against Ball State last week. So I don't know all the ins and outs of that. And obviously, anytime anyone loses, I think he's got 6 kids, and he's got a staff that they're fighting for their jobs too. So it's tough stuff on the players, So I know they're going to be inspired. You will watch TCU last week. I mean, they come out fired up. They have nothing to lose. Be ready for anything. They opened up our kick last year. Was our opening game. They opened it up with an onside kick. So we got to be prepared for all that, and we just got to focus on ourselves and playing better football. But yeah, I was aware of that, and definitely a little curveball on defense. Defensive coordinator is the same. Offensive play caller is new. So you kind of have an idea what you think they're going to do, but the percentages of what they do it. If this guy loves empty, we could get 50 plays of empty. You don't know. So it's a challenge, and so we've been talking about it all week, and our guys are aware of it, and so it comes down to us going out there and execute.
You got another team that's used multiple quarterbacks this year. DJ Irons, Zach Gibson, the main two. Gibson handled pretty much their whole game last week. What do you see from them watching film?
They don't change their offense a ton with each quarterback, which is a little bit unique. When Zach's in there, I mean, he had a great game last week. He was throwing the ball well, off his back foot, being accurate with the football. I was really impressed with him. I think he's kind of a gamer. I think he's a tough kid, who executes well in the passing game. And, but they're all a little different. Some I think obviously have better, running skills so they can get to some of their QB run stuff when different guys are in the game. But, I assume we'll see Zach. We'll probably see multiple, but I assume Zach will take the majority of the reps, and unless the new guy running the offense sees it differently, But the offense isn't a totally different thing when each guy's in there, which helps in your preparation a little bit.
Their offense has allowed, I believe it's 48 sacks so far this year. Obviously, your defensive front has had a lot of success getting pressure on the quarterback. What do you like about that matchup this week?
Well, we win and lose games off how we do up front, and so we try to win the games at the line of scrimmage, and our defensive line has had a very successful year at getting after the quarterback, and nothing's going to change as far as our effort in trying to collapse the pocket and make a quarterback uncomfortable, and it's a real thing when you get in a quarterback's face and make him a little bit uncomfortable, and that's what we try to do no matter who we play, So, and then same way on our side of the ball, we have to run the ball, and take pressure off Caleb and try not to get him hit, and that's what every game is about. So that's what we got to do tomorrow.
I'm looking at Akron's defense. They've allowed about 38 points a game, over 200 rushing yards per game. What matchups do you like for your offense against their defense?
That's the name of the game is running the ball, right? And so we've watched the teams that have played them and how they've attacked them, and where the passing lanes could be, because it's a commitment either way defensively of how much do you want to commit to the box versus how much do you want to commit to the pass, and we have to. They could definitely change up their rhythm in doing that and make us throw it more, but we got to find a way to run the ball, and we've got a lot of good stuff in this week. I think that'll give our guys a lot of confidence in getting that run game going. It makes the quarterback's job way easier when we have a run game going, and but it always starts there, and whether they were number one in the league in rush defense or last, our effort and our focus is going to be running the ball and let everything come from there. So. Obviously, like what our guys have been doing up front, running the ball, we got to continue to do it.
Coach, this is a pretty strange year in college football.
Everywhere.
Last year was really strange. This year is strange in a different way because everybody is so equal. I mean, the MAC, everybody can beat everybody, as we've already seen. And how do you see it from your perspective?
I see it the same. I kind of felt that coming in. Not that people asked me the question, so I didn't talk about it much. But it's the year of the super senior, So no one really lost a ton of talent, other than maybe, Clemson lost, the quarterback, running back, But so everyone's competitive. It's like the NFL. The NFL, a team, goes 6-3. That's amazing. You have people leading their division at 5-4, and because every week's going to be a one-score game, So I don't think it'll last like that way forever, but, during these granting extra years where you have the super senior classes, so no one really lost everybody. So there's really not a team that lost due to a ton of inexperience. There really isn't any inexperience on any of these teams. So it is. It's a little bit more like the NFL this year. You can see it with the records in all, like the Big Ten West, and a lot of the leagues. It's unbelievable that there's a lot of parity, and it makes for a lot of games. It's going to make for an unbelievable last month of the season in many leagues, and including ours. And ours has a tendency to be like this a lot anyway. I think as many people have come back to be super seniors has made it even stronger than normal.
You've got a pretty good group of seniors that. Some of them were part of your first recruiting class, like Ralph Holly and Ali Fayed over on defense, and A.J. Thomas. Talk about those guys.
Yeah, it's amazing how a lot of those guys played as true freshmen, and the only reason they got a fifth year was because of COVID. They would have had to be done last year. So pretty unique to have guys like them and guys like, even Caliendo and French, guys that when I came in the door, they had just gotten here for a year and kind of help us keep this thing going, because it's really difficult to do. And, for them to play their last game in Waldo tomorrow, it's a big deal. It's one game you always remember. I try to tell them that. And we were out there today. I think there's 17 seniors that are going to go through it. Mikey went through it last year, but he's back, and Jalen Moore didn't go through it, and he's in the NFL starting for the 49ers. So it doesn't mean anything. Any guy that thinks that they might take a shot. So, but for those guys, it's going to be a special day. Their parents get to come on the field. We're going to honor them before the game, and we're going to play really hard for them.
Still a lot to play for. Who knows where the division race is going to go. Everybody's beating each other, so that's going to come down to the Friday after Thanksgiving to determine that. But still a lot to play for with 3 games to go, bowl opportunities, all of that.
Yeah, it's mathematically we're in it. I don't know how, but it's somehow it's true. And obviously frustrated with a couple games, and you learn from them. What didn't we do well? What little things, like one player, in Pimpleton, he had a heck of a game, and I told people, what D did up there last year, he was the difference in the game. D. Eskridge kind of took that. They were playing well. We were playing well. D was a one-man show, and he did the same to us this year, So, for us, with the seniors having their last game, with the chance to get the bowl eligibility, with the chance in 3 games that we can compete in all 3 of them, and then who knows, let the chips fall where they may. We have a ton to play for. This week we're playing for our seniors. That's the biggest thing, because it's their last time playing in a place that they'll never forget. They'll tell their kids about it. They'll tell their grandkids about it, and that's our focus this week. And then we'll turn the page after that.
I watched that Akron Ball State game, and Akron's talent level is rising. They've got a lot of young, very athletic football players. It was a difficult situation there for the coach who was dismissed because he had to rebuild a program from scratch that built its talent on junior college players a lot. So
Exactly
he
right.
went the freshman route, and that's not easy to turn that around like that. But
Yeah,
it looks like it's starting to come around.
It is. It really is. I mean, they played way better football this year. I mean, and they had Ball State beat. I mean, if the guy doesn't fumble on the 1 yard line, falling in the end zone, they win, and legitimately won. There wasn't any crazy pick sixes. I mean, they played them and played them tough, and their offense looked efficient, and their defense got stops, and against a good offense in Ball State, So they're playing better, and but yeah, when you take over a program that had a lot of JUCO, so everyone's 1 or 2 years from being gone. You don't have any young, the guys like Caliendo and French that you inherit that are young and talented that you get to kind of grow for a couple of years with your new players. So, he brought in a ton of freshmen which are talented, and they played the first 2 years and only won a couple games, but they're getting better this year. And so it was a tough spot, but they are playing better and they have players. So it's for whoever gets the job, they're going to have some young talented players there, and I know they're going to have. They're going to be juiced up. It's a thing that happens everywhere. That you have new coaches that are fighting for jobs. And they're gonna, who knows what they'll do. So it's gonna be exciting, and we've talked a ton about what could come and trying to get prepared for everything you can. But you just got to trust our guys to go out there and play the game the right way. Don't cheat the game. Play it the right way, and let it come to you. So it is you can't over prepare them for something you don't know what it's going to look like. You just watch the players and see that they are more talented than the teams they've had in the past. So and they're getting better. So big challenge for us, and it's supposed to be a nice night. For a Maction game to be in the teens is great. And it'll be fun to honor our seniors.
Having senior night is probably beneficial, coming off a couple of tough losses, to get you guys really focused and wanting to win for those seniors who are playing their last game at Waldo.
I agree. Yeah, I mean, it's such a great focused game every year. Whether you just won 3 in a row, lost 2 in a row, whatever it is, and we have a lot of high standards, and the last week has been horrible, for us, and I think it's the 3rd time we've lost 2 in a row in my 5 years here, and every time it feels like the world is over, and it's good. I'd rather have that than accept it, So the guys took it hard, and so did the coaches, and especially me, and it wakes you up, keeps you alive, and we're thankful for that. That our expectations are what they are, and to follow it up with our seniors and to look them in the eye to know this is going to be their last time to play out there. It's definitely a lot of motivation.
Coach, can you give an injury update on Bryson Gardner? Is he considering a possible medical redshirt this year?
If the shoulder doesn't come back, it's the weirdest thing ever. Not the weirdest thing ever, but it's taking longer than it normally does. We've had this injury before. It takes 2 to 4, could take up to 6, but we just crossed the 6-week mark, and we did a special medical test. I wish I could tell you the name of it, to make sure everything was all right with the muscle. It's fine. The nerve just has to wake up, and he's running around. He's in shape, looks great out there running around. And so if it doesn't come back, then yeah, we would hope he would do that. And I think we've talked about it, because the strength doesn't seem to be coming back. The movement's great, but the strength is just not coming to the point where our medical people think he should be out there, for his own safety. So obviously having a first-team all-conference safety come back would be fantastic, and the fact that he wants to come back, if that happens, it'd be great. We'd love to have him sooner, but we got to just do what the medical people say. That's what we do.
And this is from MLive, this question. So with so much emphasis placed on winning the program's 4th MAC championship this year, can you talk about the team's mindset now that it doesn't necessarily control its own destiny?
Yeah, I mean, it's still the same. I mean, that's going to be, and if we would have won it this year, we'd had to be 5. We talk about this place has won 3 conference championships in 116 years, something like that. So it's average 1 out of 24, 66, 88, 16, and we're trying to buck that trend. So yeah, it's still the same. We're still chanting what our main goal is. And we're still in it right now, technically, and it won't change even if we weren't. These guys have been working hard and trying to get a little bit better and learn from our mistakes, and that's what we need to show tomorrow night.
Your program has had success against Akron in recent years. Last time they were here, they snuck out with a 1-point victory.
The flood game.
How do you? That's right. How do you make sure the atmosphere is right, and what do you kind of need to happen?
It's funny you use the word atmosphere, because that was the weirdest atmosphere of any game I've ever. No band. I mean, try to come to Waldo without the band. I mean, there's on a Sunday after 1 million gallons of water had just filled your stadium. That was my first year. I think it was the first year. I mean, just the craziest 48 hours ever. And we drove the first drive, went right down the field, and then John threw a pick 6 for 99 yards going the other way, which got the momentum. And then we got back in the game, and I think we lost by 7. So it was. I think we got to come out and just focus on us. Focus on the things we need to do, and keep our heads down. We got to continue to do a good job of staying in the moment, not looking up when we're down, whether they just return to punt, just continue to play. And I think that mental focus and ability, when we're in the present moment playing, we're a pretty good football team. We got to keep ourselves there and put the pressure on for 60 minutes. And that's what our focus is.